Hello, what is up guys? Yes, I know I'm copying quad racers, but today we're tearing apart this 2002 YZ85 with the C's crank. Yeah, that's pretty much the intro, but we're going to drain the oil. I already obviously drained the coolant, but we're going to get to tearing this thing apart. Alright, let's drain this oil. This is going to be my personal bike. It came out of a 2002, but it's going in my 09, but it's going to have a new top and bottom end, so we're keeping this engine instead of keeping the 09 one. And in the 09 engine, the manifold bolt was broken off in the case, and that would have been a pain to get out, so I'm just going to rebuild this engine. But it's my first time doing this, don't really know what I'm doing, so if anybody does see this and want to tell me how bad I'm doing, go ahead, because I know I'm probably not doing it right, but just gotta let this oil drain. The impact, let's see if we can get this off. Oops. Oh yeah, easy, but will. No, I wouldn't think so. Of course, that ain't coming off. I'll have to figure out something. Alright, I got this thing out, and if you guys, can you see that? Full focus. Hope you can see that. All the little splines in there are all rusty. Is that focusing? I don't know. I'll look at it later, but yeah, all these threads are all nice and, or all these splines are all nice and rusty. I'm gonna pull the clutch plate or clutch cover off. Gosh dang! There we go. Start pulling this clutch cover off. Come back when I have this off. Alright, we got this clutch cover off. Next we're going to do the clutch itself. Actually, on second thought, we're going to do this side cover first. So I'm going to pull off this water pump and then get back to you when I have this side cover off. We're ready to pull this side cover off. Let's see if we can. That one bolt. Another one. Okay, let's see if we can pull this thing off. There go all the bolts. That did not work. Thought I was going to keep them all in order. This gasket tears and have new ones. Set that over there. I'm going to pull this clutch basket off. Pull this off. This manifold and the reeds. And then pull this. What's this called? I forgot what that's called. Kickstarter shaft. Pull that off, and then we'll go from there. Alright, I got the big impact. Let's take off this little. That was the wrong way. Man, I keep doing that. There's that. Let's see if this basket will come off. Oh yeah. So there's this little thing. We'll put that back in. That, and then there's a washer behind it. Do not want to forget that. I can't get it off without taking the idler gear off. But also on my 09 motor, this circlip kept popping off and fall into the bottom of the motor, and then this would just bounce around. Didn't cause any damage, but I couldn't kickstart my bike, so that's also why I'm taking this motor. I know I could have just replaced this circlip and it would probably been fine, but I'm just gonna do this. Let's see if we can get this primary gear off. Got it. Didn't damage that. Thought it hit really hard, but this comes off. So there's a washer that goes on top, a keyway, or a key in the keyway. Set this over here and set the clutch over here. Put that back in there. Oh, it fell out. But next, we'll just pull this out right now. Oh, hold on. I need to grab snap ring pliers. Well, shoot, I don't have any snap rings small enough. Try this again. This is how I did it on the last motor. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to get a screwdriver and caveman it off there. Hopefully I don't break anything. Finally got that spring off. That took not spring. What are they called? Man, I just cannot remember anything today. Circlip. I cannot get that circlip off forever. But finally did. Pull off this washer, put it with the clutch. Goes behind the clutch. Down over there. Next on the list is the shift stuff, which is looking complicated as heck. I have to look up how to do this. Looking pretty complicated. I'll get it eventually though. Yeah, I'll just look that up. And that's pretty much it. I mean, this side is actually no. I'll pull the stator off, or the flywheel, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I think another name for it is flywheel. I'm pretty sure. Alright, I'll take this cover off and then get my flywheel pullers. Oops, tripod is staying still. Okay, so I couldn't get the flywheel off with my pullers because, you know, they didn't work, but I can pull this shift shaft out. Got this out. What is that? It's gross. The wood from the table. That little gear, I don't know. I'll have to go check the crap to see how you get this gear off. Alright, I just freaking split the cases, and unboxed this rod, but you know, card got full, so I have to refilm it. But I had already unbagged the crank, looking fresh. I showed stickers, or not stickers, gasket and seal kit, and then stickers to make a bike go faster. And then in here, I'm hoping we have bearings, which I don't see what else it would be. Oh, I'll put it on the wrong side. Bearing and another bearing. There's the two bearings, but we're gonna put this rod in. Yeah, put the rod in and then hopefully start reassembly if everything goes right. Okay, so I just removed the crank from the case, the other side of the case, and no, you can't see that. Anyway, what are supposed to be roller bearings are triangle bearings in there, or flat bearings, flat stocks, looking like flat stock. But this thing completely toast. I mean, can you see that? All that dirt in there, just tons of dirt. Inside, there's tons of probably the crank bearing. Just shavings all in there. This engine, don't know how the crankshaft came to be like this. I just bought it like that, but we're gonna fix that with that new YZ85 crank. Get the crank installer, or get these bearings out, install new bearings, and then put that crank in there. Alright, I have this bearing. Ah, I think I waited too long. Son of a gun. Son of a gun. I'll get it. I'll get it. Well, I got this bearing in and just gonna let this wait a second. Yeah, that's flush. It didn't look flush. It is fully seated, and just gonna wait for the case to cool down, and then we'll install this seal right here. Yeah. Yeah. Just install this seal, and then we'll get to installing the rod. Alright, so I put the cases back together so the transmission wouldn't fall apart, and I could pop out this other bearing. I just took a socket, put it on this inner race of this bearing, and then popped it right out. Only took a couple whacks, and then I was having troubles getting this seal out, so I'm just put that there. I'm gonna have to get something else to get that out. Alright guys, I've been heating this up for not that long. I'm gonna grab the bearing and hopefully it'll slide right in. Got the bearing right here, straight out of the freezer. Don't want that trans coming apart, but I got the bearing in. It's flush, fully seated, and just gonna wait for the case to cool down and put the seals in. And then on this side of the case, I put new shifter seal, new sprocket. I think this is sprocket. Yeah, this is sprocket. New sprocket seal, and then new main bearing seal. I just pulled this crank out of the freezer. It's tighter than a wet noodle. Let me go grab the crank installer. I got the crank, not even that, installed, but this Tusk flywheel pull, or not flywheel puller, what is this called? Crank installer is working wonders. It's really easy. You guys are going to be probably mad at me for using an impact, but I did. But I don't have any deep sockets, so I just have to do the rest by hand. Alright, I got the cases back together, and I know at the beginning of the video I was calling out the previous owners for using gasket maker, but the bottom end rebuild kit didn't come with a case gasket, and I looked at my my other 85 and it doesn't have a gasket either, and that engine's never been opened. So I just use gasket maker. It's set on there right now, just push down just enough to where it's squeezing out the sides, and then in about what does it say on here? Probably says it on the box, but I'll give it about 2 or 3 hours just sitting here, and then I'll tighten everything down and then start reassembly. Alright guys, she's all put back together, and we're gonna see if she starts up, and if she does, which she is obviously because I'm a master mechanic, we're gonna take her for a ride. We're gonna let her warm up. Turn on the fuel, but she rips. If this ever gets seen by anyone, you will be like, oh, you're supposed to let it idle for forever. Those guys who think two-stroke braking will prolong the life of your two-stroke by twice. Never done it. Get plenty of life out of my bikes. The reason this is seized because the owner before me is a retard. He told me himself. He said I'm no mechanic, and you could tell by the way this bike was put together. So this thing runs awesome. If you did like the video, please like, and if you could do me a solid and subscribe, that'd be awesome. That's pretty much it. This thing runs, clutch works, it has all 6 gears. That's a plus. Well, see you later.